You open your laptop and it feels like lifting a 100-pound weight. Your phone pings, but somehow answering a single message feels harder than climbing a mountain. Your to-do list could fit on a sticky note, but just glancing at it makes your chest tighten and your thoughts scatter. If you're feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, and totally stuck right now, pause what you're doing and watch this. Because today, on the Growth Mindset Project, you're going to learn how to actually get unstuck. No toxic positivity, no just do it motivation. Just real strategies that work when you feel paralyzed. Before we jump in, make sure you hit subscribe and tap that bell so you never miss an episode that could unlock your next breakthrough. The Growth Mindset Project is your toolbox for change, and we're just getting started. Back to what you're feeling. Being stuck. It's not just procrastination or laziness. In fact, it's often your nervous system quietly slamming the brakes because you've been shouldering more than you can carry for way too long. Maybe you wake up vowing, today's the day I'll finally handle that big thing I've been dreading. But by the time you sit down, just beginning feels impossible. Even little choices, what to eat, who to text, become overwhelming. The clock keeps ticking, and suddenly it's evening and you've done nothing but scroll, distract, and survive. And then the self-blame creeps in. Why can't I just do it? What's wrong with me? Let's stop that spiral right here. Legendary psychologist Carl Jung once said, "What you resist persists." Battling your feeling of being stuck, shaming, forcing, criticizing yourself only deepens the rut. It's like trying to fight quicksand. The more you struggle, the deeper you sink. But what if being stuck isn't the enemy, but actually a message? Your psyche is screaming, "We've had enough. Something has to change." That sense of overload is your whole system's way of demanding rest, not more grit. Here's the problem. The popular advice to just push through ignores what really happens inside a burnt-out mind. Your brain isn't lazy, it's overloaded. It's like a computer frozen with too many tabs open. It's not discipline you're lacking, it's capacity. When you get stuck, you don't need bigger goals or brutal self-talk. You need to close some tabs. Let's flip the script on how to get unstuck. You don't need more willpower. You need to shrink your tasks. Look, if working on that giant project feels suffocating, then don't start with work on project. Start with something laughably tiny. Maybe it's just opening the document. No writing, no editing, just open and close it. That's momentum. Seriously. Because when you're stuck, your brain sees all tasks as giant, scary monsters. Sending a text feels as intimidating as changing your career. Making dinner feels as hard as solving world peace. By making your first step so small it's almost silly, you outsmart the panic button in your brain. These are called micro-successes. And yes, they count. Movement, not perfection, is your greatest ally for getting unstuck. Remember that quote? A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Here's the catch. The first step doesn't even have to aim at your final goal. It only needs to be movement. Any movement. If you're getting anything out of this so far, hit that like button and drop a comment below. Let's grow stronger together. So why do we really get stuck? There are 3 big culprits: perfectionism, decision fatigue, and emotional avoidance. Perfectionism whispers, if it's not perfect, don't bother. You wait and wait for ideal conditions, but perfect never comes, so nothing gets done. Decision fatigue means you've made so many choices, big and small, that one more feels unbearable. Work on this or that, now or later, this way or that way. Each micro-decision saps your willpower. Then there's emotional avoidance, the scariest reason of all. Sometimes, starting that project means facing a fear, or reaching out to someone means risking rejection. Our brains would rather freeze than confront discomfort. Once you spot your reason, you can meet it where it is. If it's perfectionism, remind yourself, done is better than perfect. Permit yourself to be mediocre. If it's decision fatigue, take the choosing out of it altogether. Schedule your task like a non-negotiable appointment and just show up. No negotiation. Emotional avoidance? Face it gently. Say the feeling out loud. I'm avoiding this because it scares me. Just naming the feeling can loosen its grip. Your stuckness isn't a character flaw. It's the part of you that's asking for gentleness and understanding. Jung called this your shadow, the pieces we hide, but that need compassion most of all. When you stop treating your stuck parts like enemies and instead treat them with care, you unlock real change. Let's get practical right now. Say your living space is a disaster, and confronting the mess feels overwhelming. The typical advice? Just clean it. But that's aiming too big. Instead, set a timer for 2 minutes. Pick up exactly 5 things and put them away. Then stop, even if you want to keep going. Do this every day. The magic? Slowly, your brain stops associating cleaning with giant, impossible task, and instead recognizes it as safe and doable. 5 things a day, 35 things a week. That's progress, and progress gets you unstuck. Or maybe you need to write something, an email, a report, a story, and it's become an enormous mental wall. Forget writing the whole thing. For now, just open the file and write one word, then close it. Next day, write another word. It feels ridiculous, but trust the process. Soon, you're building the habit of movement rather than awaiting the perfect creative spark or crushing yourself with expectations. Movement, tiny, regular, nearly invisible, is what breaks paralysis. A quick reminder at this point, if this is clicking for you, hit that like button, tap subscribe, and leave a comment with what tiny step you're ready to take today. Your smallest effort could inspire someone else. Let's talk about the hidden shame of being stuck. You see others blazing through their checklists on social media and secretly wonder, why is it so hard for me? But here's what no one shows. Everyone struggles, just mostly in private. The polished posts, the hustle highlights, mask their hours of procrastination and self-doubt. The person who looks like they have it together? They've had days stuck in bed scrolling, missing deadlines, and fighting their own wars with overwhelm. No one is always disciplined. The people who get unstuck aren't waiting to be inspired. They move forward, one tiny, awkward step at a time, even when they're scared, tired, or doubting themselves. Sometimes, the most powerful way to get unstuck is to do nothing for a moment. Not scroll, not distract, just sit with the discomfort. Our culture glorifies constant productivity, but often sitting quietly lets real answers surface. You might realize your exhaustion is real, that what you're avoiding isn't laziness, but a sign you need help, or that your resistance is telling you something important about your values and priorities. Stillness helps you hear your mind's messages beneath the noise. Now, what if you're trying all these small steps and still feel stuck? Sometimes it points to deeper issues: depression, burnout, unprocessed stress or trauma, ADHD. You don't have to tackle this alone. Seeking guidance from a therapist or counselor isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Sometimes the blockage needs more than tips, it needs healing. Remember, recognizing when to reach out for help is itself a courageous act of getting unstuck. Picture your life as a flowing river. When it's clear, you move easily. But sometimes debris builds up: old pain, new stress, unseen worries. The flow slows, the stuckness sets in. Sometimes the blockage can be cleared with little steps. Other times, you need outside help. Either way, you are not less than anyone else. The only thing that matters is that you simply, gently keep moving debris one twig at a time. Getting unstuck in real life never looks perfect. It's messy, non-linear, and full of trial and error. One day you'll tackle 3 things. Another you might do nothing but breathe. Both are valid forms of movement, because what matters isn't how smooth the journey is, but that you're still taking the next step, however tiny. Here's the single most powerful secret about how to get unstuck. You do not need to see the whole path ahead. You don't need all the motivation, the ideal plan, or a surge of energy. Just the tiniest step. You get unstuck with gentle consistency, forgiving yourself for pauses, redirecting yourself when you stumble, and returning every day with a fresh intention for the smallest movement. That's how momentum quietly builds. Right now, all you need is one tiny step, so small it feels almost ridiculous. Make your bed, drink a glass of water, open the app you've avoided, type a single word. Do it not tomorrow, but now. In doing so, you've already started the process. That's how you break the paralysis. Little motion leads to bigger motion, and that, not perfect plans, is how people finally get unstuck. If you felt a shift, no matter how tiny, drop moving as a one-word comment. And don't stop here. Click the videos recommended just for you and ring that bell for more growth mindset project guidance. Your journey to get unstuck starts with your next, smallest step.